Hey, have you ever thought about what people did before soap existed? Before shampoo, before toothpaste, before deodorant, before literally any of the things you use every morning? Yeah, it was not great. Today, we are going back thousands of years to find out exactly how humans kept themselves clean, or tried to, throughout history. From prehistoric cave people all the way to the 1800s. And trust me, some of this is going to make you very, very grateful for your shower. Let's go. Let's start at the very beginning. We're talking 10,000 BC. No civilization, no cities, just humans, animals, and a whole lot of dirt. So how did prehistoric humans clean themselves? Simple. Rivers and lakes. That was the shower. You walked to the nearest river, jumped in, splashed around, and called it a day. No soap, no sponge, just water. Water alone actually works pretty well for removing surface dirt. Our skin naturally produces oils that protect us. They also used sand. Sand was basically the world's first exfoliant. Rub it on your skin, it scrubs off dead skin cells and dirt, then rinse in the river. Done. Some prehistoric humans also used ash from their fires mixed with animal fat, which is actually surprisingly close to how soap would eventually be invented thousands of years later. For hair, they used water, their fingers, and sometimes plant oils pressed from seeds and nuts. Coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, all existed in nature, and humans figured out very early that rubbing oil into your hair made it softer and kept bugs away. Lice were everywhere in prehistoric times. Head lice, body lice, they were just a normal part of life. Humans would groom each other like monkeys, picking out lice by hand. And for teeth, they used small sticks called chew sticks. You chew the end of a twig until it frayed into bristles, then rub it against your teeth. It actually worked. Certain trees, like the neem tree, have natural antibacterial properties. Fast forward to ancient Egypt, 3000 BC, and suddenly things get a lot more sophisticated. Egyptians were obsessed with cleanliness, and this was deeply connected to their religion. Being clean meant being pure. Being pure meant being closer to the gods. They invented one of the earliest forms of soap. Egyptian soap was made by mixing animal fat or vegetable oil with alkaline salts, specifically a mineral called natron, found naturally along the Nile River. Mix those together and you get a paste that actually lathers and cleans. They also used a special tool called a strigil, a curved metal scraper. You rub oil all over your body, let it sit, then scrape the oil off, and the dirt comes with it. Gross? Yes. Effective? Also yes. For hair, wealthy Egyptians shaved their heads completely and wore wigs. This was actually a very smart hygiene move. No hair means no lice. And their toothpaste? Ground up pumice stone, burnt eggshell, and ox hooves mixed with water. Sounds horrible. Smelled horrible. But it cleaned teeth. Now we arrive at ancient Rome, and this is where human hygiene hits its first golden age. The Romans built public bathhouses called thermae. These were not just places to wash, they were social centers. The bathhouses had multiple rooms, each at a different temperature. First, the frigidarium, a cold water pool. Then the tepidarium, warm room to relax and sweat. Then the caldarium, hot steam room, like a modern sauna. Romans also used the strigil. Oil on body, scrape it off. But they went further. They had servants whose entire job was to scrape the dirt off wealthy Romans. For teeth, Romans used tooth powder made from ground bones and charcoal. Some used urine as mouthwash. The ammonia actually whitens teeth. Yes, that happened. Moving on. And now we arrive at the Middle Ages, and things go backwards. After Rome fell, much of Europe lost access to the sophisticated bath systems the Romans had built. And then the church got involved. Many religious leaders in medieval Europe actually discouraged bathing. They believed that exposing your naked body, even alone, was sinful. Some saints were praised for never bathing. The average medieval peasant bathed maybe once or twice a year, usually before a major religious holiday. Water was also genuinely dangerous in medieval cities. Without proper sanitation, rivers and wells were often contaminated. Drinking or bathing in contaminated water could make you seriously ill. They did have some solutions. Herbs were huge in medieval hygiene. Rosemary, lavender, mint, rubbed on the skin to mask smell and repel insects. People carried herb bundles called tussie-mussies. Wealthy people used dry shampoo, powdered chalk or clay rubbed through the hair to absorb oil, then brushed out. This is still sold today. And in the Islamic world, during the same period, things were completely different. Islamic hygiene rules required washing before prayer 5 times daily. Muslim cities had functioning public bathhouses called hammams that were far ahead of Europe. By the 1600s in Europe, the wealthy had a new solution to smelling bad: perfume. The idea was simple. If you cannot wash the smell away, cover it with something stronger. The French perfume industry exploded. Versailles had very few bathrooms, but an enormous perfume budget. Wigs became extremely fashionable. Again, partly because shaving your head and wearing a wig was actually cleaner than maintaining real hair. By the 1800s, everything changed, and it changed because of science. Scientists figured out the chemistry of soap, how fat molecules and alkali combine to create something that grabs both water and oil, allowing dirt to be washed away. Soap factories opened across Europe and America. And then, in 1865, a doctor named Joseph Lister proved that germs cause disease and that cleaning hands prevented infections. Suddenly, cleanliness was not just about smelling good, it was about staying alive. And today, we have shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face wash, moisturizer, toner, serum, sunscreen, deodorant, toothpaste, mouthwash, floss. The average person today uses more hygiene products in one morning than a medieval peasant used in their entire life. And honestly, we might have gone a little overboard. Scientists now say showering every single day can strip natural oils from your skin. But that is a problem for another video. So there you have it. From river splashing and sand scrubbing, to ancient Egyptian natron soap, to Roman bathhouses, to medieval herb bundles, to Victorian soap factories. Humans have been trying to stay clean for as long as we have existed. We just had some very creative and sometimes disgusting ways of doing it. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to Angela Educational Tutorial and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. I will see you in the next one. Stay curious, stay clean.